So it was brought to my attention that after my purported tasting in the last episode, I never actually gave a review of my product. The reason seems to be that I, at the end of the episode, could not, in fact, remember why I had been drinking so much for the previous 20 minutes. But my review of all of them, and it's very well articulated now, is that they are all different from each other and all very good. Welcome to Ask the Meadmaker, where I, Ricky the Meadmaker, answer your questions about mead making, mead drinking, mead brewing, and really any question you're willing to send to me. Our first question this week we have gotten on about a weekly basis for a year and a half. And this week there has just been a flurry of people wanting to get our mead out of state. And heretofore, the only way to get mead outside of Vermont, made by Groennfell Meadery, was to either come here and get it, or have someone from here mail it to you. But starting this week, Stowe Mercantile at stowemercantile.com is selling our meads online, I believe in a package with Havoc. Last night, Eric from Havoc, Kelly the boss, and I were all being interviewed by Silas from Two Brews Podcast, a podcast about us that will be coming out shortly and will probably be shared on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all the blogs. And he asked a great question, and it was, what is the most fun thing about being a pro brewer? And I will tell you this, sure as heck ain't brewing. Brewing's fine, a little boring. It's the same thing over and over again. What I love about being a pro brewer is getting to sit down with my own product and drink with complete strangers. Azazel had another question about Mannaz. He wanted to know what yeast we use for it. He claims it's one of his favorite meads, and I believe him. The yeast we use is our house strain, the same yeast we use for every single product here at Groennfell Meadery. Many of you may be wondering why I'm wearing a heavy plaid shirt so early in the season, and the simple answer is that I am a Vermont Viking and this is our dress code. But I'm also wearing it to advertise for our second annual Plaid Party, September 18th, 4 to 8, here at the Meadery, live music, free bratwurst, the release of Autumn Spice, and between today and the Plaid Party, 25% off all plaid shirts in the Meadery and online. Nate Matz had a question about going pro. He wanted to know if running a brewery or a small business in general is too difficult for just one person to do it alone. Do you need a business person and a brewer or possibly other staff? And the answer is definitely. It's too much for 2 people. It's too much for 20 people. But at least if there's 2 of you, you can go insane together. Our last question this week is a follow-up from Nate to that question, which is, can friends go into business together? And of course friends can go into business together. The real question is, can they come out of it together? That's our last question this week. I just need to send it over to Ricky with our word of the week. Ricky? Thank you, Ricky. What on earth are you wearing? Hey, it's before Labor Day. This week's term is granotoxins. Granotoxins cause honey intoxication and also mad honey disease. Depending on the type, it can exacerbate the effects of alcohol. Other types can kill you, so they're probably not something you want to play around with. Granotoxins, our word of the week and the end of our show. Keep sending your questions, and I'll get to them as soon as possible. Cheers.